We got developer update 2 for Star Wars Outlaws. We know that Ubisoft is hard at work to fix the game, to add a ton of new features. So I'm curious what they have announced here, because on November 21st, they will announce, or like release actually, the biggest update for the game ever. They will also launch it on Steam and launch the first DLC. And in that biggest update, they will change a lot of things. Hopefully, we will like be able to hold on to heavy weapons. That would be awesome. Maybe Kay like gets a melee weapon that she actually uses instead of her fist, or like a glove or something. Those are things that I want. I want to shoot on a speeder. Let's see what they actually have to say right here. This is the first time I'm reading it. Outlaws. Welcome to another dev update here from the team at Massive. Our focus this week is on weapons and combat. Okay, bring it on. From the development of the combat system to recent tweaks we've made in response to player feedback, we would love to dive in and give you more insight into the workings of this integral part of the Outlaws experience. After all, a scoundrel is only as good as their getaway. So to speak more about this, here we have Drew with the creative director. So this is the new creative director that joined, that was already a co-dev game director, I think, on the game. But now Julian, who was the creative director on like the launch game, hey, he has moved on to the division. So now Drew is stepping in to fix the game, basically. Okay, Outlaws. One of the key pieces of feedback we hear is that there's a desire for a deeper and more engaging combat loop. Yes, please. In Title Update 1.4, releasing on November 21st, we are bringing big updates to enemy AI and your freedom of approach, allowing you to go silent or loud in all scenarios. More on the latter in a future update. Loud in all scenarios. That is actually awesome, because there are too many missions where it's like, don't raise the alarms, don't raise the alarms. And then I'm walking and then there's a camera and I'm like, I did not see this stupid camera. I took out all the enemies. I was very careful. But this stupid camera instantly saw me. Bam, mission failed. This is, okay, that's awesome. Loud in all scenarios. Along with these improvements, we've also revamped the feel and utility of weapons and core combat. Sounds good so far. First, we've updated the stats on all weapons and enemies, making headshots more rewarding and tuning armor and health for all enemy types, to differentiate archetypes and make them more distinct. We've also added weak points to enemies, which allows you to take down tough opponents with a well-placed precision shot at the right moment. To bring it all together, new defeat animations and hit reactions have been added to make sure hitting enemies is as rewarding and gratifying as it can be. That actually sounds pretty wild. What does it remind me of, like weak points for enemies with like probably glowing parts, right? That's pretty wild actually. Second, we took a step back to review what we would call weapon feel, to really upgrade gameplay mechanics aspect like recoil, fire rate, ammo, and accuracy for every weapon, and we updated feedback in terms of audio, VFX, and UI. The goal was to create weapons and blaster modules that feel distinct and rewarding to master. On some weapons, such as the Ashiga ABR2 Sado Blaster Rival, we had the opportunity to completely redesign the shooting pattern to bring out the weapon's unique gameplay style. So they're really changing. Like that's what's like. That's what's great, because a lot of these blaster rifles, you pick them up and they kind of feel the same. You of course have the grenade launcher, you have the sniper rifle, that's the charge up a shot. You have the minigun, like those all feel different. But there are a few of these rifles that all kind of feel the same while they are different. So, yeah, they're tweaking that, which is great. Next, we reviewed and improved the utility of weapons. For Case Blaster, we added the ability for power modules to hit, cover, and knock out enemies that were hiding behind it. Okay, so you can destroy cover. Ability for the power module. Okay, that's awesome. So that's the charge shot, right? We also updated the ion module to stun enemies for longer and make them vulnerable to damage while they are stunned. Okay. Right now, vulnerable to damage when they are stunned. We've also updated the ion module to stun enemies for longer and make them vulnerable to damage while they are stunned. So basically, they take more damage while stunned, making ion even better. That's crazy. Our intention is to give you more freedom and to make using different modules during combat even more fun. Yeah, right now, you don't really right now you don't really have a reason to use that charge shot during combat. It's super powerful, but like being able to destroy cover is actually a smart way to change that. And yeah, like using the ion more to also like make enemies more vulnerable to damage. Yeah, that's great. Right now you're using it because you see robot enemies and you're like, okay, let's blow them up. But not much else. So for weapons that Kay finds in the field, we made sure that you can get a hold onto them the longer. Even when climbing and traversing the environment or interacting with enemies in the world. Like, it's so wild that if you find a ladder, you're like... And she also, like, throws it away, like, very, like, boom. Like, you throw it away. Like, sometimes I, like, lose the weapon because it falls down. So I cannot pick it up again because I decided to climb a ladder. So yeah, you can hold on to this longer. This change that was highly requested means you can now make longer term strategic choices, get more rewarded for turning enemy weapons against them, and have more varied combat encounters. This is like every interview I did pre-launch, I asked about this. Because I really thought like being... Right now you go into a combat encounter, it's always the same. You always have your blast, your pistol, and yeah, the modules. And you're kind of like dependent on what the enemies drop in the encounter. It's way more fun if you... Okay, I know there's a sniper over there. What if I go there, then pick up the sniper for this huge base, this Imperial base that I have to infiltrate like a little later on. Or this mission says, go infiltrate this highly guarded base. Okay, first I'm gonna prepare. I'm gonna bring some weapons that I know I can get from like this smaller camp over here. Bring it with me and then go take on this more challenging base. And then you can actually... They showed that in one of the trailers as well, where Kay is like on a she has the high ground and she's like using the sniper to take out enemies from afar. You can never do that in the game because the sniper is always from a sniper enemy in the camp. And the moment you like take them out, or the moment you use that sniper, the whole camp is alerted, and then you're in like it. There was no way to properly, from a distance, without the enemy seeing you, snipe everyone because you had to be in the camp. So okay, this is great. Lastly, we've taken a new approach to how cover works. The camera will no longer try and predict which shoulder it should be on. It will now be more comfortable and stable around cover. To facilitate this, we've added the ability to shoulder swap when aiming. I really thought that like, because it's weird that it like does it like automatically. And I was like, is there a button that I pressed for no reason? No, it's like automatic. But yeah, now they will give you greater control and precision. Add to that a host of improvements to the animations around and reliability of using cover, and we hope this will let you focus on tactics and actions rather than thinking about cover mechanics. All in all, we believe and hope this update to weapons, cover, and damage stats will create a much deeper and more engaging combat loop with more variety, choice, and satisfaction. We look forward to hearing your feedback when you get your hands on this huge update to the core combat systems in the game, and hope you enjoy your journey across the galaxy with Kay and Nyx. As said, we're bringing you many requested changes in Title Update 1.4, which will be the biggest update yet, coming your way November 21st. And this is also, again, when the DLC launches. Nothing on PS5 Pro issues, no. I'm not having a lot of issues with the game on PS5 Pro. I'll be getting the DLC for Outlaws, JD. Yeah, I already have the Ultimate Edition, so I will be having it anyways. But yeah, this sounds good. This sounds pretty good. This sounds awesome. I do think there are bigger issues with the game overall. But these are interesting choices. I love the weak points. And like my combat experience with the game was the most fun when I was experimenting with things. Like one of the things you can do is use the ion shot, like the sort of surge you have, so sort of shotgun blast, stun the enemy, run up to them, bam, melee hit, insta kill. When I like figured those things out, that was fun. And then you can like roll, and there are cool combat mechanics in the game, but there was really no reason to use them, or yeah, it just like it still was pretty like the bare minimum. You would figure things out very quickly. So having enemies now with different weak points, that's interesting. Being able to take weapons with you is very interesting as well. So yeah, you kind of like now it will be nice to know where you can find certain weapons. Although to be fair, the game is pretty easy. So maybe they should add like a higher difficulty or something, where actually like carrying these weapons and stuff feels needed, because right now you can pretty easily complete everything with these with the regular blaster and stuff. Still, I think if you are playing the game for the first time with these changes, it will be a more pleasant experience. I am the most hyped, or for new people coming in with a thing they will actually do later, like allowing you to go silent or loud in all scenarios. Like, it feels so backwards to have many missions in the game where it's like you cannot raise the alarm. Especially because you are an outlaw. Like, you're not this like freaking hero or something. Like, let me decide if I go loud or silent, and punish me for going loud if that was your intention. But don't have it be like game over screen, try again. Like, have the punishment for me going loud be, bam, way more enemies spawn, death troopers are suddenly on my ass, and I have to be way more smart about it. But if I master the gameplay and combat, I can still manage. And that feels satisfying, right? To play the game how you want and not be like completely... Like, they push you now to play the game in one way. And they're finally opening it up more. And I think that's great. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this. We will make a big video on the main channel about this as well. So stay tuned for that. And of course, subscribe here too for reactions to this gaming news. Thanks.